Have you ever wanted to talk about your day in English, but suddenly your mind became empty? Someone asks you, "What do you usually do in the morning?" You know the answer in your own language, you know your life, you know your routine, you wake up, you wash your face, you have breakfast. You go to work, go to school, study at home, cook dinner, watch a video, and go to bed. But when you try to say it in English, everything feels harder. You stop, you think. You look for the right word, you worry about grammar. You ask yourself, should I say I wake up, I am wake up, I waking up? Then the moment becomes stressful. A very simple question feels big. You do not feel stupid, but you feel blocked. You know more English than you can use. If this has happened to you, you are not alone. Many English learners can read simple English. They can understand short videos, they can recognize many words, but when it is time to speak about their own life, they feel stuck. This is painful because your daily life should be the easiest thing to talk about. It is your life, it is your morning, it is your workday, it is your evening, it is your weekend. The problem is not that you have no English. The problem is that your English is not connected to your real life yet. Today, we will build that connection step by step. You will learn how to talk about your daily routine in English using simple and natural sentences. You will learn how to speak about your morning, your workday, your study time, your evening routine, your weekend routine, and your small daily habits. You will also learn how to make your sentences sound smoother, more natural, and more confident. You do not need perfect English to talk about your life. You need useful English. You need repeatable sentences. You need clear structure. You need a calm way to begin. So take a deep breath. By the end of this lesson, you will not only know more words, you will have a simple way to speak about your day in English without freezing. Your daily routine is one of the best topics for English practice because it is close to you. You do not need to imagine a strange story. You do not need to talk about a difficult subject. You only need to talk about what you already do every day. This is powerful. When you talk about your daily routine in English, you practice many useful parts of the language. You practice time words, action verbs, simple present tense, adverbs of frequency, daily activities, and natural transitions. You learn how to say what happens first, what happens next, and what happens later. For example, you can say A, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. B, after that I brush my teeth and wash my face. C, then I make coffee and eat breakfast. D, I go to work at 8:30. E, in the evening I cook dinner and relax. These sentences are simple, but they are useful. You can use them in real conversations. You can use them when someone asks about your life. You can use them in speaking practice, listening practice, writing practice, or even in a short self-introduction. Many learners make one mistake. They think they need advanced English before they can speak. They believe they need more grammar, more vocabulary, and more rules. But speaking does not begin with advanced grammar. Speaking begins with clear, useful sentences about familiar things. Your daily routine gives you that familiar place. Think about it. You repeat your routine again and again. You wake up every day. You eat every day. You work, study, clean, travel, exercise, rest, or spend time with family. Because these things happen often, English becomes easier to remember. This is why a daily English routine can help you speak more naturally. You are not only studying English. You are connecting English to your morning, your home, your job, your meals, your phone, your habits, and your real life. And when English becomes part of your real life, it stops feeling like a school subject. It becomes something you can use. That is the goal, not perfect English. Usable English. Natural English. English that helps you say, this is my day, this is my life, this is what I do. When learners try to talk about their daily routine, they often begin without structure. They say one sentence, then they stop. They do not know what to say next. This is why structure is important. A good daily routine answer has a simple order. A. Morning, B. Afternoon, C. Evening, D. Night. This order makes speaking easier because you do not need to think too much. You can move through your day like a story. You can begin with a general sentence. My daily routine is simple, but it helps me stay organized. Then you can talk about your morning. In the morning, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and drink a glass of water. After that, I make coffee and eat a light breakfast. Next, you can talk about your afternoon. In the afternoon, I am usually at work. I answer messages, finish my tasks, and take a short break when I can. Then your evening. In the evening, I come home, eat dinner, and relax. Sometimes I go for a walk or watch something in English. Finally, your night. At night, I get ready for bed. I try not to use my phone too much, and I usually sleep around 11. This is already a complete answer. You do not need long, difficult sentences. You only need clear steps. Here is another example. My day starts early. I wake up at 6:30 because I need time before work. First, I make my bed, then I brush my teeth and wash my face. After breakfast, I check my schedule and leave home. During the day, I work, answer emails, and talk to my coworkers. After work, I go home, cook dinner, and rest. Before bed, I read a little or listen to English, then I go to sleep. Notice the flow, first then, after that, during the day, after work, before bed. These small phrases are very important. They help you connect your sentences. Without them, your English may sound like separate pieces. With them, your English sounds like a real story. So when you talk about your daily routine in English, remember this simple path. Start with your morning. Move to your day. Continue your evening. End with your night. This structure gives your mind a road to follow. Your morning routine is a great place to begin because mornings are full of useful verbs. Wake up, get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower. Get dressed, make breakfast. Drink coffee, leave home, start work. These verbs are simple, but they are the heart of daily routine English. Let's build a natural morning routine. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock, but I do not get up immediately. I stay in bed for a few minutes and check the time. Then I get up, make my bed, and open the window. After that, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and take a quick shower. I get dressed and make a simple breakfast. Most mornings, I eat eggs or toast and drink coffee. Before I leave home, I check my bag and make sure I have my keys, phone, and wallet. This sounds natural because it has clear order and real details. You can make it even easier. I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I got dressed. I eat breakfast. Then I go to work. This is correct, but it sounds a little basic. That is okay for a 1 level. But if you want to sound smoother, add time, words, and transitions. I wake up at 7. After that, I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I get dressed and eat breakfast. Around 8, I leave home and go to work. Now it sounds more natural. You can also talk about feelings. My mornings are usually quiet. My mornings are busy because I have to leave early. I like slow mornings because they help me feel calm. I do not like rushing in the morning. These sentences make your English more personal. You are not only listing actions, you are describing your real experience. For example, my morning routine is simple, but I enjoy it. I wake up early, make coffee, and sit quietly for a few minutes. This helps me feel ready for the day. Or, my morning routine is very busy. I wake up, get dressed quickly, and leave home. I usually eat breakfast later because I do not have much time. Both answers are useful. Both sound natural. Both are easy to understand. When you describe your morning routine in English, do not try to sound advanced. Try to sound clear. Use short sentences first. Then add small details. Your goal is not to impress people. Your goal is to communicate. And communication begins with simple truth. After your morning routine, you can talk about the main part of your day. For many people, this means work, school, or study time. You can start with one simple sentence. During the day, I usually work. Or, during the day, I study English and take care of my tasks. Or, during the day, I go to school and attend my classes. Then you can add more details. If you work, you can say, I start work at 9 o'clock. I usually check my emails first, then I answer messages, attend meetings, and finish my tasks. Sometimes my workday is busy, but I try to stay organized. If you study, you can say, I study in the morning or afternoon. I read, take notes, and practice speaking. Sometimes I watch English videos and repeat useful sentences. If you are at home, you can say, I stay at home during the day. I clean the house, cook food, answer messages, and take care of my family. I will also try to study English for a short time. You do not need to make your life sound exciting. Many daily routines are simple. That is normal. The goal is to describe your life clearly. Here are some useful phrases. A. I start work at 9. B. I finish work at 5. C. I take a break around noon. D. I have lunch at 1 o'clock. E. I usually work on my computer. F. I talk to customers or coworkers. G. I study for 1 hour every day. H. I try to practice speaking when I have time. If you want to sound more natural, add small opinions. My workday is usually busy, but I like having a clear plan. Studying alone is sometimes difficult, but I feel proud when I finish. I do not always have a lot of energy, but I try to do a little every day. These sentences are very useful because real conversation is not only about actions, it is also about feelings, habits, and small problems. You can also compare your good days and difficult days. On a good day, I finish my work early and feel relaxed. On a difficult day, I have many tasks and not enough time, but I try to stay patient. This gives your speaking more depth while still using simple English. When you talk about your work routine or study routine in English, remember this pattern. Say when you start. Say what you usually do. Say when you take a break. Say when you finish. Say how you feel. This is enough to create a strong and natural answer. Evening routines are important because they show how you rest, eat, connect with people, and prepare for the next day. Many English learners only practice morning routines, but evening routine English is also useful. You can begin like this. In the evening, I usually come home and relax. Then add actions. I take off my shoes, change my clothes, and wash my hands. After that, I prepare dinner or heat up something simple. I eat dinner, clean the kitchen, and rest for a while. This sounds clear and natural. You can also say, after work, I feel tired, so I try to keep my evening routine simple. I cook dinner, watch a short video, and spend time with my family. Sometimes I study English for 20 minutes before bed. This is a strong answer because it includes action, feeling, and habit. Here are useful evening routine sentences. A. I come home around 6. B. I change my clothes and relax. C. I cook dinner or order food. D. I eat with my family. E. I clean the kitchen after dinner. F. I go for a short walk. G. I watch a video in English. H. I prepare my clothes for the next day. I try to sleep early. Evening routine topics also help you practice phrases like after work, after dinner, before bed, and at night. For example, after dinner, I usually drink tea and watch something relaxing. Before bed, I brush my teeth and set my alarm. At night, I try to relax and stop thinking about work. You can make your English more natural by adding small details. I like to keep my evenings quiet because my days are busy. I do not always study at night because I feel tired, but I try to listen to English for a few minutes. Sometimes I waste time on my phone and then I sleep too late. That last sentence is very relatable. Many people understand it. Simple English can still be honest and emotional. A good evening routine answer can sound like this. My evening routine starts when I come home from work. First, I change my clothes and wash my hands. Then I cook dinner and eat with my family. After dinner, I clean the kitchen and relax. Sometimes I go for a walk and sometimes I watch an English video. Before bed, I brush my teeth, set my alarm, and prepare for the next day. I try to sleep before 11, but sometimes I sleep later. This is simple, complete, and natural. It also gives you many chances to practice speaking. Your daily routine is not always the same. Weekdays and weekends can be different. This is why it is useful to know how to talk about your weekend routine and weekly routine in English. You can begin with a contrast. On weekdays, I have a busy routine. On weekends, my routine is slower. This sentence is very useful. It helps you compare two parts of your life. Here is an example. On weekdays, I wake up early and go to work. I do not have much free time. On weekends, I usually wake up later. I make a slow breakfast, clean my home, and spend time with my family. Sometimes I go shopping, meet a friend, or go for a walk. This is clear and natural. You can also say, my weekend routine is simple. I like to rest, clean my room, and prepare for the next week. I also try to study English because I have more time. Weekend routine English often includes activities like A. Sleep in, B. Clean the house, C. Do laundry, D. Go shopping, E. Visit family, F. Meet friends, G. Exercise, H. Watch a movie, I. Prepare for the week, J. Study English. Sleep in means to wake up later than usual. For example, I usually sleep in on Saturday. This is a natural phrase. It sounds better than saying, I wake up very late because it is weekend, although that sentence is still understandable. You can also talk about your weekly routine. Every week, I try to plan my time. I work from Monday to Friday. I exercise 2 or 3 times a week. I study English in the evening. On Sunday, I prepare for Monday. This kind of answer is useful because many conversations are not only about one day. People may ask, what do you usually do during the week? Or what do you do on weekends? You can answer with simple structure. My weekly routine is busy but organized. From Monday to Friday, I work and take care of my normal tasks. I try to exercise after work, but I do not always have time. On Saturday, I clean, shop, and relax. On Sunday, I prepare meals, plan my week, and study English. This sounds confident because it has order. When you talk about your weekend or weekly routine, use phrases like A. On weekdays, B. On weekends, C. Every Monday, D. Twice a week, E. 3 times a week, F. Once in a while, G. Most Saturdays, H. Usually on Sunday. These phrases help you sound more natural and more specific. You are not only saying what you do, you are showing when and how often you do it. That is a big step in speaking English clearly. When you talk about your daily routine in English, you usually use the simple present tense. This is because routines happen again and again. You say, I wake up at 7. I go to work. I eat lunch at noon. I study English in the evening. I sleep around 11. These sentences talk about regular habits. The simple present tense is not difficult when you use I. For I, the verb stays simple. I wake up, I eat, I go, I work, I study, I sleep. But with he, she, or one person, you often add s or es. She wakes up, he eats. My brother goes to work, my mother cooks dinner. This is where some learners get nervous, but do not let this stop you. Start with I. Talk about your own day first. That is easier. When you feel comfortable, you can talk about someone else's routine. My sister wakes up early. She goes to school. She studies in the afternoon and relaxes in the evening. Or, my father works during the day. He comes home in the evening and watches the news. For daily routine English, you also need frequency words. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never, these words help you explain how often something happens. For example, I always brush my teeth in the morning. I usually drink coffee. I often listen to music on the way to work. I sometimes study English at night. I rarely eat breakfast outside. I never sleep before 10. Put these words before the main verb. I usually wake up early. I sometimes watch English videos. I rarely drink tea. With the verb be, the word goes after am, is, or are. I am usually tired after work. My mornings are often busy. She is always organized. This may sound like grammar, but do not make it heavy. Use it in real sentences. That is how grammar becomes spoken. Here is a simple answer using the simple present tense. I usually wake up at 7. I always brush my teeth and wash my face. I often drink coffee in the morning. I work during the day and I sometimes take a walk after dinner. At night, I usually watch a short English video and go to bed around 11. This is exactly the kind of English you need for daily conversation. Simple, clear, useful. Many learners memorize many English words, but they still cannot speak. This feels frustrating. You may know the word breakfast, but you do not say, I usually eat breakfast at home. You may know the word tired, but you do not say, I feel tired after work. You may know the word exercise, but you do not say, I exercise 3 times a week. This is why memorizing words alone is not enough. Words become useful when they live inside sentences, and sentences become easy when they connect to your real life. Instead of memorizing random words, use your daily routine. For example, do not only memorize coffee. Say, I drink coffee in the morning. I usually make coffee after I wake up. I like drinking coffee because it helps me feel awake. Do not only memorize work. Say, I start work at 9. I work on my computer. I finish work at 5. My workday is busy, but I try to stay focused. Do not only memorize bed. Say, I go to bed around 11. Before bed, I brush my teeth and set my alarm. I try not to use my phone in bed. This is how you move from vocabulary to speaking. A daily English routine does not need to be long. It can be small and repeatable. You can choose 5 sentences every morning and say them out loud. For example, A, I wake up early. B, I wash my face. C, I make breakfast. D, I go to work. E, I study English for 15 minutes. Then add more detail. I wake up early because I like quiet mornings. I make breakfast at home because it saves money. I study English for 15 minutes because I want to speak with more confidence. Now your English has meaning. You are no longer repeating empty words. You are speaking about your life. This is why your daily routine is powerful. It gives you a real reason to speak. When you use English to describe what you do every day, you train your brain to think in English. Slowly, simple phrases become automatic. You do not need to translate every word. You begin to say things faster. That is how confidence grows, not from memorizing 1,000 words in a notebook, but from using 20 useful sentences every day until they become yours. There is a difference between correct English and natural English. And correct English says, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I go to work. This is correct, but it sounds a little dry. Natural English connects ideas. I usually wake up around 7. After I get up, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and make breakfast. Then I leave for work. The words are still simple, but the flow is better. To sound more natural, use transition phrases. First, then after that, before work, during the day, at lunchtime, after work, in the evening, before bed. Finally, these phrases help the listener follow your story. Here is a flat version. I wake up at 7, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I eat lunch, I come home, I sleep. Here is a smoother version. I wake up at 7. First, I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I eat breakfast and get ready for work. During the day, I work and take a lunch break. After work, I come home, eat dinner, and relax. Before bed, I prepare for the next day. This is much better. You can also sound more natural by using around for time. I wake up around 7. I leave home around 8:30. I go to bed around 11. Around is useful because we do not always do things at the exact same minute. You can also use try to when something is a goal but not always perfect. I try to wake up early. I try to study English every day. I try to sleep before 11. This sounds honest and natural. Many people do not have a perfect routine, so it is okay to say, I try to exercise, but I do not always have time. I try to eat healthy food, but sometimes I order takeout. I try to study English at night, but sometimes I feel too tired. This kind of English sounds real. It shows your life, not a perfect picture. Another useful phrase is depends on. My morning routine depends on my schedule. My evening routine depends on how tired I feel. My weekend routine depends on the weather. This helps you speak more naturally because real life changes. So when you talk about your day, do not only list actions, add small connectors, add time words, add feelings, add honest details. That is how simple English becomes warm, clear, and natural. Now let's put everything together in one complete example. My daily routine is simple, but it helps me stay organized. I usually wake up around 7 o'clock. I do not get up immediately. I stay in bed for a few minutes and then I start my day. First, I brush my teeth and wash my face. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. I usually wear comfortable clothes because I have a busy day. Then I make breakfast. Most mornings, I eat something simple like toast, eggs, or fruit. I also drink coffee because it helps me feel awake. Before I leave home, I check my phone, my keys, and my bag. I do not like rushing, so I try to prepare everything the night before. Around 8:30, I leave home and go to work. During the day, I work on my tasks. I check messages, answer emails, and talk to people when I need to. My workday is sometimes busy, but I try to stay calm and focused. Around noon, I take a lunch break. I usually eat something light and rest for a few minutes. In the afternoon, I continue working. Sometimes I feel tired, so I drink water or take a short walk. I finish work around 5 or 6. After work, I go home and change my clothes. In the evening, I make dinner or eat food I prepared before. After dinner, I clean the kitchen and relax. Sometimes I watch a video in English. Sometimes I listen to a slow English podcast. I do not understand every word, but I try to listen every day. This helps me improve little by little. Before bed, I brush my teeth, set my alarm, and prepare for the next morning. I try not to use my phone too much at night, but sometimes I do. I usually go to bed around 11. My routine is not perfect, but it works for me. I believe small habits are important. When I practice English for a few minutes every day, I feel more confident. I do not need to study for many hours. I just need to be consistent. This example is strong because it includes the full day. It talks about the morning, work, lunch, afternoon, evening, and night. It uses simple present tense. It uses natural transitions. It includes honest feelings. It also connects English learning to daily life. You can use this example as a model. Change the details to match your own routine. If you wake up at 6, say 6. If you study at night, say that. If you work from home, say that. If your routine is busy, calm, simple, or stressful, say that. The best English is the English that helps you talk about your real life. Sometimes you do not need a long answer. In real life, someone may ask, "What do you usually do every day?" You may only need a short answer. Here is a simple beginner version. I usually wake up at 7. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and eat breakfast. Then I go to work. During the day, I work and take a lunch break. After work, I come home, eat dinner, and relax. At night, I study English for a little while and go to bed around 11. This answer is short but complete. You can make it even shorter. I wake up early, go to work, come home, eat dinner, study English, and go to bed. This is useful when you need a fast answer, but if you want to sound more natural, add one or two details. My routine is simple. I wake up early, go to work, and come home in the evening. After dinner, I usually study English or watch a short video. I try to sleep before 11. This sounds better because it has personality. Here are 3 versions for different situations. A. Simple version. My daily routine is simple. I wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, eat dinner, and sleep. B. Natural version. My daily routine is simple but busy. I wake up around 7, get ready for work, and leave home around 8:30. After work, I come home, eat dinner, relax, and study English for a short time. C. More personal version. My daily routine is not perfect, but I try to stay organized. I wake up early, work during the day, and relax in the evening. I also try to practice English every day because I want to speak with more confidence. The personal version is usually the best for conversation because it tells the listener something about you. English is not only grammar, it is a connection. When you speak about your day, you are letting someone understand your life. Even simple sentences can create connections when they are honest. Now that you know how to talk about your daily routine in English, you can also use your routine to improve your English every day. You do not need 3 hours. You do not need a perfect study plan. You need a small routine that you can repeat. A good English routine can be very simple. A. Listen for 5 minutes. B. Repeat 5 sentences. C. Say 3 sentences about your day. D. Learn 1 useful phrase. E. Review before bed. This is enough to begin. For example, in the morning you can say, "Today I wake up early. I feel a little tired, but I am ready for the day. I will go to work and try to practice English for 10 minutes." In the evening you can say, "Today was busy. I worked, came home, and ate dinner. Now I want to relax and listen to English for a few minutes." These small moments help your brain connect English to your real life. You can also use shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and repeat it. You try to copy the rhythm, the sound, and the feeling. Choose simple sentences. I usually wake up around 7. After breakfast, I go to work. In the evening, I like to relax. Before bed, I prepare for the next day. Repeat each sentence slowly. Do not rush. Your mouth needs practice. Speaking English is not only in your mind, it is also physical. Your mouth, tongue, lips, and breath need time. You can also record yourself. Many learners feel shy about this, but it helps. Say your daily routine in English for 1 minute. Listen to it. Do not judge yourself harshly. Just notice one thing to improve. Maybe your sentences are too slow. Maybe you forget transitions. Maybe you need more confidence. That is okay. Progress does not happen in one perfect day. It happens when you repeat small, useful actions many times. A 15-minute English routine can change your speaking if you do it consistently. 5 minutes of listening, 5 minutes of repeating, 5 minutes of speaking about your own life. Simple, realistic, powerful. This is how English becomes part of your day. Let's look at common mistakes learners make when they talk about daily routines. The first mistake is using the wrong verb form, incorrect. I am wake up at 7. Correct, I wake up at 7. Use simple present for habits. The second mistake is forgetting to after go. Incorrect, I go work. Correct, I go to work. But remember, we say, I go home, not I go to home. The third mistake is using in night. Incorrect. I study English at night. Correct. I study English at night. You can say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. The fourth mistake is saying every day when you need every day. Every day means each day. I study English every day. Every day is an adjective. This is my everyday routine. For speaking, you will usually say every day as 2 words. The fifth mistake is making sentences too complicated. Some learners try to say advanced sentences before they can say simple ones clearly. This creates stress. Start simple. Instead of, upon awakening, I proceed to complete my hygiene process. Say, I wake up and brush my teeth. Simple English is not bad English. Simple English is strong when it is clear and natural. The sixth mistake is only listing actions without connection. I wake up, I eat, I work, I sleep. This is understandable, but it sounds flat. Add transitions. First, I wake up and eat breakfast. Then I go to work. After work, I come home and relax. Finally, I go to bed. The seventh mistake is not adding feelings. A daily routine becomes more interesting when you add small emotions. My mornings are busy. I feel tired after work. I like quiet evenings. I feel proud when I study English. These sentences make your speaking human. Do not be afraid of small mistakes. Mistakes are part of speaking. The real mistake is staying silent because you are afraid. Your goal is not to speak perfectly today. Your goal is to speak a little more clearly than yesterday. Here are useful phrases you can use when you talk about your day. You do not need to memorize all of them at once. Choose a few and use them often. A. My daily routine is simple but busy. B. I usually wake up around 7. C. I get up, brush my teeth, and wash my face. D. After that, I make breakfast. E. I usually drink coffee in the morning. F. I leave home around 8:30. G. During the day, I work or study. H. I take a lunch break around noon. I. In the afternoon, I finish my tasks. J. After work, I go home and relax. K. In the evening, I cook dinner. L. After dinner, I clean the kitchen. M. Sometimes I go for a walk. N. I like to listen to English before bed. O. I try to study English every day. P. My routine is not perfect, but it helps me. Q. On weekends, I wake up later. R. I use Sunday to prepare for the week. S. I feel more confident when I practice daily. T. Small habits help me improve. Now let's turn some of these into a natural answer. My daily routine is simple but busy. I usually wake up around 7. After I get up, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and make breakfast. During the day, I work and take care of my tasks. After work, I go home, eat dinner, and relax. At night, I like to listen to English before bed. My routine is not perfect, but it helps me stay organized. This is a strong answer for a 1A2 learners. You can also make it more emotional. My routine is simple, but it gives me structure. I do not always have a lot of time, but I try to practice English every day. Even 10 minutes helps me feel better. When I repeat small sentences about my life, I feel more confident. This is still simple English, but it has a feeling. That is what makes speaking powerful. Many learners wait for the perfect moment to speak English. They wait until they know more grammar. They wait until they understand every word. They wait until their pronunciation is perfect. They wait until they feel brave. But confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes after speaking little by little. Your daily life is enough to start. You can talk about your morning, you can talk about your breakfast, you can talk about your work, you can talk about your study time, you can talk about your evening, you can talk about your weekend. You can talk about how tired you feel, how busy your day is, and how you try again tomorrow. This is not small. This is real communication. When you learn how to talk about your daily routine in English, you are learning more than a topic. You are learning how to bring English into your life. You are building a bridge between the words you know and the life you live. Maybe your sentences are simple today. That is okay. Simple sentences can still be strong. I wake up early. I go to work. I study English every day. I feel tired, but I keep going. I want to speak better. These sentences are not fancy, but they are honest. They show effort, they show progress, they show the beginning of confidence. Do not think my life is too normal to talk about. Your normal life is the best place to begin, because when you can talk about your normal life, you can start having normal conversations. And normal conversations are the heart of real English. So tonight, before you sleep, say 3 sentences about your day. Tomorrow morning, say 3 more, do it slowly. Do it clearly. Do it again. One day, a simple question will come. What do you usually do every day? And this time, you will not freeze, you will breathe, you will smile, and you will speak. If this lesson helped you today, please subscribe to Mona English Cafe and turn on the bell so you never miss your daily English dose. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like so I know you want more lessons like this, and leave a comment below telling me what English topic, real-life situation, or speaking struggle you want Mona to talk about next. Your idea could become the next video. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember, your English can grow step by step. See you in the next lesson.